Hey guys, I'm Jana, and this is gonna be my January reading radar. There's quite a few books for this month, so I'm just gonna jump into it and pray for me as this month goes on, and I try to keep up with all of these. The first one is, of course, the new book in the Every Heart a Doorway series by Seanan McGuire, Mislaid in Parts, Half Unknown. There we go. That's what it is. It looks like it's dinosaurs. I'm just hoping for the goodness that we can come to expect in these books. This is the 9th book in the series. So if you don't know, this series is like a series of novellas that follow children who like Narnia themselves. Like they go through a wardrobe, they go through a door, and they're like in another world. So it's very like magical, kind of fantastical. So I'm very excited for Dinosaur World. And that is coming out on the 9th. And then also on the 9th is going to be the Atlas Complex, which, if you don't know, I have 2 sets of the Atlas and the Atlas Paradox behind me. I do really love these books, and I am super excited for the Atlas Complex. I don't know what to expect, and I need to do a reread because I feel like I've lost everything, but this is the 3rd book in a dark academia series, and I'm excited to devour it. I just really have come to love each point of view that are in these books, and I have a lot of feelings for them, and I'm rooting for some of them. Some of the other ones I'm rooting for their downfall, but as it goes. Also on the 9th, I've had on my radar Don't Want You Like a Best Friend by Emma Albin. This looks beautiful. It's going to be a queer Victorian romance, and it looks like it's going to be the first in a series, so I'm hoping they're all going to be FF. 2 debutantes are trying to distract their parents from their season of trying to find husbands by matching their widowed parents up together. And obviously, along the way, they fall in love with each other. And that sounds beautiful. That sounds great. I Don't Want You Like a Best Friend. Coming out January 16th is the next book in the Emily Wilde series, and this is Map of the Otherlands by Heather Fawcett. I loved the first book in this. If you've read Veronica Speedwell, this is right up your alley. It is smart, science-y lady who discovers and looks into Fae, and so she kind of uncovers like the dark and also like fantastical underbelly of the Fae world and how they interact with humans. Think like a very swoony romance. I'm hoping there will be more than 2 books in this series. It's just kind of delicious, and I really want to explore more in this world. So if they could give it to me, that would be great. Then the next day, January 17th, comes out Cherished, which is book 3 in the Luna and Soul series by Emily Emerson. That was a little bit of a mouthful. This is a very like dystopian, kind of oppressive world set Omegaverse where there is tons of rules and laws. Heavy Omegaverse, while also having like some of those sweet and comforting moments you're used to in Omegaverse, but just set in a darker world where they have to tackle bigger issues like oppression. There was the fall of the government. I forgot the government had fallen. So this is 1 year post the fall of the government. I know one guy rides a motorcycle, so I'm just picturing like dystopian, like crumbling infrastructure and man on motorcycle. The Omega in this one is part of an Omega rights committee, and she seems to be dealing with this mysterious illness that is keeping her from being able to find a pack for her to be with. So this sounds amazing. I can't wait. I'm gonna eat it up. And on January 18th, we have Fbound, Sarah El Arafi. I actually have a copy of this. I believe it was the Illumicrate book last month. I'm very much looking forward to this. I love a good Fae story. I've never read from this author before, so this looks like it has to do with war and then also an exile, and it sounds like it's going to be very like more high fantasy. It sounds good, and I've been hearing a lot of good feedback from people who have already read it. So I need a new series to love and obsess over. Okay, so me finally reads more than just some blurbs. Apparently, the main character in this is Elven, and it was part of an Elven army, and ends up going into exile with her sister, also Elvish, and they end up at the Fae Court. And on January 23rd, we have the Breakup Tour, which follows a musician. This is a second chance romance between a rising singer and her ex-husband. Sounds like drama. I love it. I really love The Roughest Draft by these two authors. They're also a married couple. So I'm like, I don't know what the inside of their relationship looks like, but it's kind of crazy that they can write a whole book together. So I'm very much looking forward to this. And on January 26th, we have the conclusion of the Like Us series, Nobody Like Us by Krista and Becca Ritchie. If you know me at all, you know that I love The Addicted World and obviously their offspring. Basically, like, this world's like Kardashians. So it follows them, and a lot of them fall in love with their bodyguards. So perfect, 100%. I am very both like sad that this series is over. This is the 13th book in the series. So I've been reading these and loving this world for quite a while now. I can't really say much about Nobody Like Us because it is the third book in a trilogy inside a series of 13 books. So Nobody Like Us. And the last two releases on January 30th, one I just found as I was doing research for what was coming out in January and making sure I was grabbing everything that I was interested in. This is The Takeover by Kara Tanamachi. It looks like it's like workplace, maybe workplace rivals or like enemies to lovers. The thing that really drew me to this is that it has a 30-year-old heroine. And I really like that she has like still a lot of indecision. Life isn't turning out the way she planned. And I don't know, I relate to that as someone who's also almost 30. Her and her fiance have broken up, and enter a man who is from her past and was also an old high school nemesis. So she's 30 and she runs back into her high school nemesis, who's naturally going to be a hot man. So we'll have fun from there. And then, of course, we have A House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas, the third book in the Crescent City series, urban fantasy that has all of the delicious stuff of fae, werewolves, everything, little cute otters who deliver your mail. This should be hopefully amazing. I've loved this series for so long, so I'm really hoping that this gives what I need it to. I'm a little concerned about how she's going to play off what happened in the second book, but I won't say more on that because I don't want to give spoilers. Those were my January release radar books, just books on my TBR and books I'm gonna keep an eye on. If there's anything I missed that you're like, Jana would love this book, let me know. Because we all know I hate to have FOMO. Thanks for watching.